Now, I would request you all to kindly please stand up for reciting the preamble of our evening. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, in our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you. I would like to welcome Mr. Kaviraj Singh, founder and managing partner of Trustman and Company. He is also the former director and head India for the New York State Department of Economic Development. He is a graduate in law from Delhi University and postgraduate in international trade. He is currently serving as president, legal cell of Indo-American Friendship Group. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very proud to have such a honorable panel where we can discuss and hear their blessing and thought process. So I think it will guide us through a long way. So as usually we always make a statement that we are not here to criticize anyone and no politics. Just try to do a one good act instead of criticizing other person. Try to improve yourself. Everything will be fine. So with this, I would like to invite Mr. Mr. P.K. Malhotra, former law secretary, and he has worked on a very high-profile policies matter and have been one of the best secretary of law during that time. Thank you very much. Please.
Please, go ahead.
Now, I would like to welcome Mr. P.K. Malhotra, retired Secretary, Ministry of Law and Justice. Sir has more than 40 years experience in the field of law in various capacities, out of which he has worked in the Ministry of Law and Justice for more than 25 years as an officer of Indian Legal Services and reached the Apex Court of Union Law Secretary. He holds a master's degree in political science along with LLM diploma in international law. He has held several key positions such as Secretary, Ministry of Law and Justice, Member of Law, Commission of India, Member, Securities Appellate Tribunal, Chairman, Adjudicating Authority, Prevention of Money Laundering, Judicial Member of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, Arbitrator and Appellate Authority under Permanent Machinery of Arbitration of Government. His significant foreign assignments include that of being the head of Indian delegation to Vienna and New York to participate in the meeting of UNICITRAL, represented India before WTO Dispute Resolution Panel. We welcome you, sir. I request to kindly felicitate sir and will also request sir to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you. Justice Neena Bansal, Judge, Delhi High Court, my esteemed colleague from Ministry of Law and Justice, Dr. Anju, Rathi, Rana, Mr. Kaviraj, Singh, all the dignitaries of the dais, dear students, and all the delegates present here. A very warm welcome to you on this Constitution Day, and best wishes to all of you from my side on this Constitution Day. Before standing before you, I was just talking with the Justice Bansal and recollecting that during even our college days, we have never heard of the Constitution Day. It was always till 2014, it used to be only a national law day to be celebrated either in the High Court or by the Bar Association or in the Supreme Court. And unfortunately, even in the Ministry of Law and Justice, there was no formal function to celebrate the Constitution Day. It was only in 2015 that Government of India officially declared as a Constitutional Day. And during this short span, I'm very happy to see the development which has taken place. Last Monday, I was in one of the universities where they are celebrating Constitution Week, not day, Constitution Week. And I got invitation from 3-4 other universities also, where some of places I have accepted, but some of the places I couldn't accept because of the time constraint or other commitments. But I think this, the recognition which is a Constitution Day needed, like the Republic Day and the Independence Day, has now been given by the government, and it is not relevant only for the law students. Every citizen of the country should read this as Bible, Gita and Quran. It is important for all of us, and more particularly I am very happy that the function has started by reciting the preamble in the Constitution. Talking about the framing of the Constitution, because most of the participants here are students, and I think you must be knowing, if you don't know, maybe just to refresh your memory, it took us 3 years to draft this Constitution by a Constituent Assembly, which originally had more than 389 members, but later on the members came to 299. Because of Pakistan, there was a separate Constituent Assembly, so those areas which were falling within the jurisdiction of Pakistan, those members went to the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan. So there were 299 best brain of the country who had drafted this Constitution. Many a time it is said that this is a Constitution of the colonial era, and therefore it needs to be replaced by a new Constitution. Now, just a thought for all of you, the students who are sitting here. As I said, there was a Constituent Assembly which discussed the provision draft of the Constitution, which was basically taken from the Government of India Act of 1935. But that was not the only document. The other documents which were considered were the Constitution of America, the Canadian Constitution, the Irish Constitution, the Australian Constitution, the Soviet Constitution, the South African Constitution, and the British practices which were prevalent at that day. No doubt, because we were a British colony, so foundation was laid there. But to say that it was only a colonial constitution, will it be a correct methodology to express our constitution, which I feel, depending 75 years, now this is the 74th Constitution Day we are celebrating, but 75 year or 76th year of independence now we will be celebrating. The way the Constitution has functioned or served the country, has it not achieved the objective for which it was framed? That is one important point. And secondly, in the history of a country, is 75 years a sufficient period to judge whether the Constitution has served us well or not? We have a document which we call it as our Constitution as a living document. And that, in fact, in practice, it has been shown that it is a living document, because during the last 74 years, how many times it has been amended? 106 times. And many a time, there have been major amendments which have really changed the course of the Constitution itself. Starting from the first amendment itself, where large number of amendments were made, including amendment in the Fundamental Rights chapter, that is Article 19 of the Constitution. And then thereafter, I'll not go into all the judgment because there is a time constraint and it is only an inaugural function. I'm just trying to refresh your memory. The 42nd amendment made in the Constitution, large scale amendments were made where the word secular and socialist were added in the preamble of the Constitution and then in the amendment process itself. Then the Keshwananda Bharti case, which laid down the theory of basic structure, which is being questioned by some of the legal experts right now, whether because the Constitution doesn't provide for it, but the Supreme Court itself, while interpreting the Constitution, has laid down the story of basic structure, which cannot be changed even by the lawmakers. And more importantly, recently we have come across the judgment in 2017 in Putaswamy's case, where right to privacy has been said to be a fundamental right, Article 21 of the Constitution. But in practice, because of the technological development which are taking place, and this supports the point I was discussing with Mr. Kaviraj Singh and Madam Anju Rana before coming here, that in the present day context, where technology is taking over everything, the moment we say that right to privacy is a fundamental right, does it really have any meaning, or really is it a fundamental right? These are the points I think which we need to deliberate, delve upon and see, are we really going in the right direction? But so far as the interpretation of the Constitution is concerned, or the amendment of the Constitution is concerned, as I said, the legislature has done its job well to achieve the objectives as laid down in